Okay, we are back to the last part of our conversation. Tuan Syed, what are your other plans to change the Lembap economy?
We okay. Let's. We were talking just now about the being a financial hub, Islamic banking hub. These things have not developed. Huh? Now, if you want to be a hub for anything, if you want to be a center for rockets and sending rockets to the moon, or building motor cars, or the banking hub, you need people. Like Singapore, as I mentioned tadi, commercial banks alone, they got over 150. They got hundreds of other financial institutions also involved in banking one way or another lah. So you have this ecosystem of, the CEOs, the senior general managers, the members of board of directors in all these banks, who will be definitely be financial experts lah. They are well versed lah. So kita nak jadi, you need the ecosystem of these hundreds and thousands of senior financial managers, banking managers in an economy. Then they are the ones who generate the competitive behavior. What bond style baru, what financing style baru, creativity will come up. So that's how you become a hub. It depends on the people. Kalau anchor bank kita 10 orang CEOs, 10 anchor bank 10, maksudnya CEO pun 10 lah. Chairman pun 10 orang lah. So from this small group, you want to create a financial hub when you have places like Singapore right beside it, so dynamic. So we basically kita dah gari tangan kita lah, angan-angan besar, tapi you don't create the ecosystem of people. You need thousands of people. In Singapore, you've been you are the largest law firm in the country, Datuk.
Dulu lah.
Banking, essential support industry for banking is the legal profession, documentation, loan documentation, contractual documentation, advisory, so many things. You need legal system, you need the financial consultants, you need accountants, all this support industry lah, industry sokongan to the banking system. So the more banks you have, the larger the ecosystem of banking in your country. These supporting industries, sokongan pun lagi ramai lah. That's how you create this financial hub kind of thing, which we don't have in Malaysia because we restricted, kita cartel, and most of the banks in our country are JLCs lah. So we have a little group of banks in the country, and then kita angan-angan besar lah nak jadi financial hub lah, nak jadi itu lah. It never happened.
So what we have to make dramatic changes, Mr.
We have to liberalize the banking system, financial system. Regulation ni, I believe in liberalizing, but I also believe in more regulation. I don't believe in deregulation. You must be strict and you must control. That means more work for bank negara lah. We need proper regulations, but we have to liberalize the sector. We need more players in the industry. Otherwise, the alongs, they're not going. Now alongs are super professional. Along sekarang buka pejabat macam bank. They have in a quiet corner. They have their staff. They have very professional people. They have computerized records. Everything, just like a bank.
Whenever there's a need, somebody will fill it up.
But at 18% to 25% a year, the other thing is, the along industry is already in the billions of ringgit. The government doesn't collect hasil cukai, tak ada, because they're not legal businesses. They're not legal. They don't pay taxes. So kita rugi dua kali.
But they open nasi lemak lah.
Kita rugi dua kali.
Nasi lemak.
Along ni dia pinjam berbilion-bilion. They are making 18% and more every year from the people. Orang jadi makin miskin. Government pula tak ada hasil, does not collect taxes because these people are illegal operators. But as you said tadi, they are there, they are not going away. You cannot go, if you're a little guy, you cannot go to the bank and ask for, they tak layan. The alongs, they call you and they give you the financing. So we need to change, we really need to change, which we are not.
Yes. And I think the greatest hurdle to change is our attitude lah.
Yeah, we don't think right.
We're
not thinking right.
We are not thinking right. And we don't have the best people to think for us.
Well, you suggested changing people. We need change, lah. We need new thinking, new ideas.
Yeah, I think that the Prime Minister is a very busy man. He shouldn't hold on to this finance minister's portfolio. He's got no time to think.
It's a very technocrat's job, lah.
Yeah.
Any country in the
Most
world,
countries in the world
Finance
will have
minister,
finance minister. It's not a
technocrat.
politician proper.
No, you must be a technocrat.
Yeah, you
have to
must be able
understand.
to present.
You must understand how the system works.
Yeah, but you know why in our country the Prime Minister likes to hold the finance minister? Because he likes to hand out.
Because in Malaysia, the finance minister determines how many bank licenses are issued.
Yeah.
You want to do anything, you must get the minister's approval.
Yeah.
You don't just fill up a form, isi borang, bayar duit, yuran ke apa, and go start your business, which other countries do.
Yeah.
Kita semua ni,
Kita kena approval daripada orang-orang
Ah.
tertentu. You know?
and then the political patronage back to square one.
Back to square one lah.
Back to square
Dan, kena sokong.
Like the chief minister of Sarawak, the prime minister of Sarawak has to make a formal announcement. I'm buying 30% in Affin Bank using state funds under the State Investment Corporation. That is not good for the economy. Where the private enterprises, the businessmen,
Yeah.
who can.
But I suppose in defense of Sarawak, if they wait for the private sector to come in with all the bureaucracy,
No, it won't happen.
it won't happen.
You cannot blame the premier, Abang Johari.
So Abang Johari has no choice.
Yeah,
but to
he's got
say,
no choice.
I will do it first.
He's got no choice. It's
Yeah.
sad, but he's got no choice.
Yeah, it's sad, but
It's
no
sad.
choice.
Yeah.
So, I just want to come to the last point. You know, why is it that our politicians, members of parliament generally, that's right, why don't they raise this issue? Why don't they debate these issues openly? Why isn't there a rigorous point being made like what you have just done? At the level of the parliamentarians, at the level of political parties. Why?
Yeah.
Is it because they don't understand?
I think so. Or either that, or maybe it's not sexy enough lah. They're still debating the 6 people apa yang ada MPs, ada langgar anti-hopping law. Now lagi hebat debate. Now that seems to be the flavour of for the last month, this month, and maybe month ahead lah. This doesn't really benefit things in the country lah. But real issues, tak ada. There's no debate. There's no discussion. I think maybe they don't understand lah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe they do, but they feel that
No, but
tak ada priority lah.
the government leads lah. Government is supposed to lead.
Definitely.
They don't even start the conversation. Huh?
No.
They don't even start the conversation about
A member of
banking
parliament is a
reform.
leader.
Banking reform in the way we do business, the licensing. You know what we do now, despite besides higher taxes, despite high cost of living, kita punya denda ni, for every small thing denda. Nak buat syarikat mahal,
Semua.
tak file document mahal, nak appoint auditor lambat mahal, fines dia. Every transaction in this country kena ada fine, ada fee yang mahal.
For bankers special dia buat BAFIA kan. Banking and Financial Institutions Act 1989 yang Rafizi kena BAFIA kan. BAFIA ni specifically to tangkap people who work in the banks, you know. Why? What about the guy who works in JKR or works in the barber shop? Kalau silap potong rambut, you put him in jail. But they have a law of BAFIA where the main highest at risk lah are the bankers. Kalau silap approve ke silap whatever in the banking documentation or in the whatever you did in the bank, you can go to jail. You know? I mean, we already have laws for white-collar crime. We have anti-corruption, everything. But they still have a separate new act, BAFIA, specially made to get the bankers.
Yeah. You know, so this is where, as a conclusion, I think you would agree with me that we want the academia, misalnya, universities, NGO, to raise issues like this.
Pertinent issues.
Economic issues. Not just sekali-sekali talk about harga telur, talk about, we should talk about the reason behind all this thing. And the other day, we were talking about ringgit tak kuat. So, people say, ringgit tak kuat is good because bring more tourists. So it's all very one-dimensional. Kita punya discussion, you know. This is from the government. Yeah. No, if that is the case, that you become like Zimbabwe, lah, where $1 US becomes at one time, 20 million Zimbabwe.
No, weak currency is bad lah. I mean, those are all small arguments. Berapa peratus yang tourist industry to our GDP? Ada lah, but it's not the entire thing lah. The entire economy, kita ni manufacturing nation, trading nation, we import a lot.
Kita import a lot.
Imports are now more expensive, So that pushes up imported inflation lah. And then we process it and we sell it and all that. But our import costs have gone up tremendously. We import food. Our food import bill is, I don't know, tens of billions.
60 billion, 70 billion.
Every year.
Every year.
Now that would have gone up by the percentage of our currency punya jatuh lah. We are paying more. And food is something you consume. You put in your mouth. You don't process it and sell it to the next country. It's for your own consumption. Meaning that we have to spend more now just to feed ourselves.
So in other words, we are in a very deep problem, difficult problem.
I feel we are in difficulty, and it's not going to improve, and it might get a bit more difficult. That's what it looks like. Of course, now a lot of news coming out that we're in a turnaround situation. Even the ringgit now is 463. So everybody's saying ringgit is now the strongest performing currency in Asia and all that. But it's still 4 ringgit 63 cents. It used to be 3 something. So I guess little improvement lah. But the overall threat and the weaknesses in the economy is hanging over our head. It's not good.
It's not good.
We can do better.
Okay. I think that's all for this week. Hopefully we will be talking on other economic issues with Tuan Syed next week. Bye.
Thank you, Dato'.
Okay, Syed.